there, is she comfortable or is there too, like, I'm curious why she goes through these things, because she sounds very much like, I
I know.
relate very much to what
I
she's
know.
saying.
Jessica?
Maybe it's not the time.
The question commentary on the phone, on the floor from Barb. And I was hoping she was going to hear the same thing in your voice, in your emotion, and just that realization of fighting it. You knew, you found you were making it worse.
Hmm.
I actually don't even want to go to the why, because I want to ask everybody, have you felt this way before when you didn't know that your body was doing XYZ and that was good? Then we realize that our body is actually healing, so it doesn't, we're not doing that anymore, and it kind of gives us some freedom. Okay, good. Is there anybody, okay, anybody else that has found themselves in that same place? Human condition.
Probably me.
Yep. And I know Jessica will say that.
Because I did something this morning, Deanna, and I was doing really good yesterday after our call. And I was thinking about that. And then I had signed up to get a vitamin D test this morning. And I got like sick in the car, and my intuition and everything, I was like, oh my God, you are really, I'm losing it, you know? And I go, I don't trust those needles. I don't want to go do this. And I lied and I called and I said, well, it wasn't, but I said, I don't know. I started driving in, I felt sick and I came home. I thought, what on earth?
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole story why I would say you did that, but you trusted your intuition and you said, this doesn't feel right. I'm not going to do it.
I know. And I'm thinking, and it made me think of a lot of things at the moment I did that. It was like, I just, I was listening to a neuroplasticity tape this morning and I'm going, I just listened to so much negative stuff and it's got me, and that would be doctors and everything else. But it's like my brain is in, somebody just said it's overstimulated and I've got to figure out how to understimulate. And that's what, that's where I am today.
Thank you. When people first learn GNM, one of the things they keep saying is there's something wrong with my brain. I can't figure this out. I can't, and that becomes part of the issue many times. Like, what's wrong with my brain that I can't get that? I know, Courtney, you felt that way. Susan,
Exactly.
I don't, yeah, Susan Petty, you have explained how you're thinking it's a brain issue. Susan Benway, have you felt that there's something wrong with your brain, that you can't get this simple concept? Because I don't remember hearing it from you.
No, not particularly. I don't particularly resonate with that.
Right,
Yes,
right.
I have a very high opinion of myself.
Well, you've also been on this journey for a lot of years, so you've done some other stuff to set you up for this. So
Truly.
sometimes GNM lands in somebody's lap and it's like, I got it. It was very easy for me. So I never blamed my brain. Michelle, I think you were kind of mostly in that, I got this, but every so often you'll hear that fearful circuit that will bring you to the ER. You're like, they got me, it got me. And so it is a human thing. It's not, and I know Michelle was not on, I'm assuming Michelle was not on any brain depression drugs of any sort when you found GNM, but she has been. But when you found GNM,
Sorry, Michelle.
But my point is, this is a brain thing, not necessarily a medicine thing. Because Courtney, I know part of your fears was, how much is this medicine messing with my brain? that would come up in your story. But it comes up in people that don't have the medicine in their body. Like Susan Petty, I don't think you're taking any mind altering medicines, correct? I'll just say correct for her, the sake of time. Um,
Why can't I get that mute button? I can't ever get it on my phone. No,
There's
I
something wrong with
probably-
your brain, Susan.
well, I've got to tell you a funny story. I was listening to an interview of Mike Tyson and Alex Jones yesterday when you said this, because I've heard people talk about that, and they were talking about mushrooms and toad and everything, about how it really puts you into a good consciousness. And I was thinking, okay, I'll shut up.
I'll sign up.
Well, it sounded like Mike Tyson said it changed his life, and I've heard other people say that, but no, I haven't gotten that point, and I can't take drugs, period.
Right. Some people
Every time I
have-
take one, I get like so worked up, and it does what I'm trying to get it to do. It would do the exact opposite, and it wasn't a good combination. I don't take drugs.
Right. So I don't, yeah. So my point of this is
Mhm.
we have patterns. We have thinking human patterns. We have fears. When we're
Mhm.
cycling and looping, based on the story, we can tell, like Courtney had a lot of fears of her symptom. And when we worked on that over time, it's been what, a little over a year and a half almost, the fall. And it's over time and it's cumulative,
Cumulative.
cumulative. Yes. And we have to really be patient with ourselves. It is not our brain that is not capable, but it's just realizing. And Courtney, your simple approach to changing this dance, you changed the dance with the fear. Can you give us 1 minute of a simple approach?
I have been teaching myself how to just sit with the symptoms. I will either grab like an ice pack or a heating pad. Those are my comfort items. And I'll sit on the couch and I'll put on, I like praise and worship music. So, and I'll just sit there and just kind of write it out. Mind you, I do take anti-anxiety medication that is kind of like a Xanax that I'm prescribed twice a day. But I've gotten better to the point where I'm not taking it as soon as I wake up in the morning. I'll take it, like a couple hours after I get up. And then my afternoon dose, I push it out as far as I can. Like I push it out, like I'll force myself to sit with the uncomfortable
Mhm.
till I can't do it anymore.
Okay, because you know that is quick acting, so it's like so you're pushing it a little bit. It's like I am, and not pushing it away. You are practicing being in the now and
Yes.
trusting your body and
Yes.
listening to the energy of God's word that says you're perfect, you're this, you're that.
Yeah.
Well, Duster's in our room. We haven't seen her on the upper deck in
Yeah.
the daytime. That's exciting. She's feeling, and she's letting Barb pet her.
Ooh.
And Charlie's here. Yeah, the dog of his cousin is stir here, but he's not. She's like not even fearful. But it's funny because the cats, they see a dog, and because of past experiences, they're frightened. So they were down in the cellar for most of 5 days. And this is like, she's still on edge. She hears the dog. She's like, okay, that was enough. But it's the same with us. We have perceived dangers depending on what we've experienced. And they're literally these little triggers all over our brain that just keep us in that loop. And so it's simple, but it's consistent. It's consistency and knowing that we can throw a rope out and say, I need a little help. even if it's word of you've got this, like listen to the past recordings, because I was having a few things go on when Courtney reached out. And I said, you know this. Just go back and listen to the words. It's going to be the same thing. I'm not coming up with new techniques every day. It's trust your body, trust the body or the process of life. And like these calls are about going forward. How can we go forward with our passions or with our curious mind to understand this GNM stuff or understand new techniques of like the fix code that can help pull different things or the different modalities that are out there. That is the secret to life, is how can I shine even when I have symptoms? So I want to share a creative, actually, do you want to share your progress? Yes.
But they had.
They
it's
haven't,
not
but
gonna
you
mean
can
a lot
just,
to them.
it-
But
it's not going to mean a lot. So she's already just like nulling all that you're going to see. So do you remember this woman that was here last week? She didn't have that on her face. Even though we had to paste it on a little bit. But tell your story. How did you feel when you came here structurally, emotionally? Just 2-3 minutes, stand up, show us your new wings. She's got really long wings.
I mean, Courtney, I relate to a lot of the words that you use, but I use the word dysregulated a lot. I can't remember the other word you used. But I get, and I don't remember so I think like Deanna said, I was looping on, I don't know, 10 different more things. And Deanna has talked about like the frontal lobe constellation, which I wasn't buying, or I've been open to it, but because I'm coming off medication and I've attribute a lot of it to that. And I think it's a player, but anyway, it's a 6-hour drive for me to get here. I was nervous for days about that drive. And if I haven't left home like that, I don't know how, maybe in a year. That is not my soul though. Like I'm typically pretty adventurous, so it's just very different. Lot of fear. And I physically, even standing up like that is new. But wasn't able to, I don't know, just, I would get up first thing in the morning and take like 4 ibuprofen so I could walk my dog because physically my hips were weak. Back in November, December, I was collapsing kind of when I would stand up, my hip would give out. Not able to move my arms away from my body since probably December. I would have to, if I was going to put my hat on to go outside, I would have to brace against the wall to hold myself. I thought I did. It felt like that. I would take like I would shuffle, and I think walk like this a lot.
All is one.
Bending over I still brace, but anyway, I mean, the difference is like I can completely move my arms up and down right now. With
Even higher.
Yeah, I can do this. This is new, I think, as of today or yesterday. I've been holding, just because of where the pain is, I've like I don't really understand, but holding here and then it creates a lot of tightness. And today when I walked Charlie outside, I noticed that I'm stronger in my core. I'm actually standing straighter. I think I was walking a lot more like this before. I mean, I can even do this. Yeah, just even bending over. I still brace on my thighs a little, but I think
She's working on, actually what she's doing is she's working on a new move. It's called
bend and snap.
Bend and Snap.
We went to the musical Legally Blonde yesterday, and I had I don't want to call it a panic attack, but in the middle of it. And then I don't know, at the end, I was able to go outside and cry and release some of that. And then we went to the gas station and I felt funny. So I went and did my little bend and snap.
It's how you attract men.
Anyway, I don't know if I'm,
And the other thing that she is not doing, so
you said my skin looks different.
her
too.
skin looks just like, yes, it looks free, it
eyes
looks
are brighter.
relaxed. Michelle noticed her eyes are brighter on the call the other day. And the other thing that's happening is those loops that were looping with 10,
Oh, yeah.
12 topics on Monday morning. They were down to probably 6 or 7 topics on Wednesday, because or Thursday, did another weirdo session and just released. And now she didn't panic. She didn't call for help. She came down this morning and was just like, I'm still scared, but it doesn't have the charge.
was
It's
having-
not,
Yeah. I was having the panic this morning. I didn't share a lot with you, but it probably wasn't on a lot of topics.
Right.
It maybe was one, which is, it's not even clear to me what it is.
Right. so the habit of doing something, because we're saying, and we've been saying it all the time, is one thing, but the feeling attached when you're doing the self-talk, when you're listening to word, when you're doing fixed code, when you're doing wanding and other things, those are working on another level. So it's reprogramming. It's all of that. It's not one thing. Or it can be just one thing. Breathe, trust, love. But we have a very imaginative brain, so it needs a little bit more entertainment as we're learning and reprogramming.
Deanna,
Yes, Susan.
it's almost like somebody just said, I don't know, was that Jessica? Said that she sat with it. And if you sit with it and just breathe, you move the energy.
Yep.
And it's all in energy too.
That was Courtney, yes. Yes, but I think that was also one of Jessica's lessons in this journey. Because she was like looking all over, looking. How many practitioners have y'all been to? Shit ton.
A ton.
Well, and that's the hard thing is we keep looking on the outside to fix us on the inside.
Right. Right. So when we have the knowledge, when we keep learning about the knowledge, the 5 biological laws, and understand that's the foundation of that, we can do other modalities that are complementary, that are not the fearful based, that are not going and calling names and testing your blood and giving you another name to deal with. We can do those. Dr. Hammer calls it entertaining the patient while the patient heals. So those are great, but we don't have to. We literally don't have to. We don't have to change our diet. We don't have to take handfuls of supplements. We can. If you got them around and you're muscle testing, will this be beneficial for my body, my mind, body, spirit today? Great. Take 10. I don't care. If you believe it, let the placebo concept play a role. But one of the biggest things is find your passion in this. Keep learning, keep growing, keep choosing one thing a day to say, this is where I'm going to grow today. Is it learning GNM? Is it having more fun with my symptoms? Is it setting boundaries with people that are unhealthy in your life according to your standards? Is it finding your soul's mission? It's one of those. So that is our process over and over and over. But all the while, you're at the core of that, just saying, I love myself truly as I am. I trust what's in my life. I trust this process. I trust my body. It's that simple.
And would you say, is it just basically trying to be happy, stay calm, and go into homeostasis?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Okay.
That was a Susan Benway. Yeah, that sounds good. No, I think of the song, Don't Worry, Be Happy. It's not always that, like just telling somebody, I don't know if it was you. No, it was another woman. I was just guiding and getting her to like have fun in the house. Fun in the house for her was too much of an energy. Going easy, going with the flow was her fun because it hasn't been going with the flow when your body's not working. So for her, that fun translate to, wow, instead of beating myself up, I'm actually going to go with the flow. So find what that means to you, like what that would look like and feel like to you. What would bring you up a notch if you're like at a certain level of like Courtney, I'll pick on you, like acceptance. Like I'm accepting these symptoms. I'm not fighting them anymore. That didn't bring me down a good path. So I'm choosing to accept and sit with it and then let God's word come into my brain while I'm doing that. And usually, as she's experienced, I remember our second session or one of the early ones where you were thinking about going in the ER because your heart palpitations and just talking to me, maybe it was the third time. It was enough to calm it down and entertain you while your heart palpitations went through and finished. And then when it happened again and you panic, you'd call and panic. And I'd say, do you remember the last 3 times? The first 2 that you panicked and you went in and they were like, and or on the ER ride, they actually stopped. So all those bills were just like causing more overwhelm that you didn't want. And then you're just like, okay, I'm going to try this. And it worked. And simple and free. Michelle.
Yeah, just wanted to point out, hi Barb, that you know, the last calls, Barb sat in the background, but you chose to come over and join the group today, which was huge. Your voice is so much stronger. Um, there's huge changes that because you know you're standing right in the middle of it. You can't see probably, but maybe you can. But I think it was very huge for you to come over and join into the group instead of, being off to the side. That was big. That was big.
Thank you.
Nice to see. Good to see you join into the group and your face and talking about all the things that you can do and showing us. It's amazing what you have accomplished in such a short time. So congratulations and give yourself a big pat on the back and grace and love. It's
You're
nice
right.
to
I
see.
think because I'm with it all the time, I don't see some of the
Mhm.
changes that like Deanna has pointed out, like my skin or whatever. And also when I was first here, because there's a hot pad back there and it's a papasan chair, and I would put
Yeah.
a blanket on because I was in more pain, so I wanted to lay
Mhm.
there. But today I
Right.
feel like I can sit here and I'm not feeling pain sitting here right now.
Yeah. It's a whole big change of your whole self is just really changed. And I talk to Barb every day. And I have been for about the last 3 weeks now.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
So yeah, you've really even though you want to poo poo it the stuff, but we see it. And this was a big
Can't get
this
away
is a
with
big
anything.
I do want
no.
to.
Well, that's my next point that I want to bring to everybody's attention about their stuff. It is very uncomfortable for us to say, Good job, Michelle. Good job, Deanna. Good job, Barb, to ourself. It's uncomfortable because there's a little bit of the programming that we got. That's ego. You don't, there's even a line out of the Bible. I think it was interpreted. And I don't know what it is, but somebody will help me. But it's about praising yourself. But if you cannot praise yourself, how are you going to hear it from anybody else? Like, wow, look at me go. Because what I see in this one, this little one, is she's very hesitant on praising herself
But I think it's a safety thing.
for whatever reason. And I think it's more human than just a personal thing. And I caught myself about right after I got all this big work done, and I stopped and I received some other accolades from other people that gave me a different perspective and like, look what you've done. And I haven't done that to myself. And then once I heard it, I was like, fuck yeah, look what I did. Sorry. You gotta give that explanation. Like thousands of Michelle's being silly. We have a comedian. Good. So yeah. What you got to say, Michelle?
I'm not Michelle, I'm Michael.
Yo, Michael.
I answered the phone the other day and someone said, Kevin, and I'm like, really? But yeah, this is my alter ego.
Fun. All right, let's set some goals for this week. Let's see what is within us. What are our challenges? What are one thing that you're like, I realize this about me. This is what I'm going to work on. I realize this is my project. I want to actually share something. And I have a t-shirt. T-shirts, but this is one of our tribe members. She came on only once because she's been having 2 months of pretty intense healing. She's had a book inside her soul that they said I wouldn't live. And one of her phrases was, once she understood the power of an epicrisis, one of her phrases she started saying was like, watch out for this epicrisis, like to the system. So my neighbor makes t-shirts. So I had this made. So she is literally getting out of the hospital right now because she went in for some help. That was her choice. It wasn't a fear-based thing. It was a methodical move. And so this is her pending book. So I am going to just kind of plant this seed. Anybody have a story where they were told they wouldn't live, or they were told something that kind of took the wind out of their sails? For me,
Yep.
I was blonde, legally blonde, I might add. People
Yeah,
take me seriously.
I was just told 1 month ago that if I didn't have total knee replacement surgery, I would be crippled and in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. That's by the surgical coordinator for the surgeon, because I canceled my surgery. That's just one thing. I mean, I have about 100 other things,
Yeah,
but I don't care because I don't listen.
like that has no charge. That story has no charge anymore, does it? It did in the
No.
moment,
Just for a brief moment. Yep.
a couple
And
hours.
then,
We had to
yeah.
talk you off the ledge.
Yep. And I was like, oh my God, this is so laughable.
Cancer's got a charge on me for a year.
It has, past tense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's laughable.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney, did you have a share?
Yeah, when I was bit by the black widow spider, all I kept hearing from everybody around me was, these bites can kill you.
These bites can kill you. She could die from this.
Yeah.
As they had me completely doped up on fentanyl and whatever else they had me on.
Yep.
I can still hear you.
Yes. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Susan's? Anybody tell you that dot, 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 and you're like, well, that wasn't true.
Well,
Wow.
yeah, no, I mean, I'm usually, I wake up suspicious, you know. So it's very hard. Even something comes out in the headlines like, we're having a pandemic. It's like, I don't think so. So it takes a lot. I'm kind of in the opposite. I have to be convinced. But
Yeah.
what this reminds me of is one of the themes that's had been in the call is the notion of doubt, because it's my experience that faith grows out of doubt. It's like it starts with doubt. You have to, kind of go into your doubt in order to come out because you found it yourself. And it's like, a minute ago you were saying, oh, some quotes, we're not used to thinking highly of ourselves. So I know biblically it's like God helps those who help themselves. And then the other one is love thy neighbor as thyself. You have to love yourself first. So I almost have developed that to a fault, I admit. But I don't consider it ego, because it's like I need my power, because there's everything on the outside is antithetical, especially these days. So you have to take your power back and think for yourself. Otherwise, we'll all be in fear all the time, which of course is the obvious agenda, right? I mean, fear and panic, oh no, the sky is falling. It's like, I mean, I'm kind of the mindset lately of like, bring it, because it's not a threat. It's like anything like, well, if I start to go into a panic or entertain doubt a little too seriously, it's like, well, what's the worst that could happen? Well, you'll die. Like, yeah, and then what's the worst that could happen? Because I think dying is completely safe. It's just a matter of like, have I squeezed everything life has to offer me in terms of my own soul growth? And of course, there's always that feeling of like, no, I want more. Again, it's that paradox between being very attached to your life and then saying, I could let it go. It's like, it's both things. So you
Yeah.
best not let me rant too much, or we'll be traveling to spaces we never intended.
Well, we never intend. We always just go with the flow.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, anybody else have any share? And then we'll just kind of transition.
I haven't been told that I wasn't going to live, but I would go back to all we've been taught from doctors and dentists. I started a new protocol for my teeth about 5 months ago, and the dentist keeps calling, well, you better get in here, you better get in here. And I'm going to go through this protocol and see, but mammograms, I don't know, it's been years and years and years. I haven't had one.
Don't do it.
I am not. I'm worried about all that I did before. My mother was a breast cancer survivor, and it gets me mad. And it's like what I'm doing to myself right now. I listen to all this crap. My husband is freaking driving me crazy with trying to figure out, what do we do, and you can never get enough supplies to be ready for Armageddon. And that's what's got me in the fear. And I'm just trying to figure out how to apply all this to my life. And I'm so thankful that I found everybody. And it's just now with, and I always go back to my job, and I'm sick of saying that and making that the excuse. I just want to be able to stay calm throughout whatever. And I appreciate what you said, Susan, because I've been very lucky and fortunate, and so I just want to learn this. And maybe today was the start. If I don't let my mind go, why didn't you go get that vitamin D test? Some stupid thing like that. And my husband's at the dentist today, and he's probably going to come home and say they're mad you haven't been in there. And I'm going, well, I'm not going for quite a while more.
Yeah, wait till you read about the teeth and how they're all just bite conflicts, and you actually don't need protocols. You need to learn how to bite back or get out of those systems that make you want to feel like you're biting, you need to bite back.
Well,
So
take us into that, Deanna. I want to learn
not
all this
on this
stuff. And
call.
that's my problem right now. I can go into anxiety because I feel like I've missed out on this for all my life. And how do I make up for it? And I'm the type of person that just tries to overachieve, and I just want to stay calm and do. I keep hearing somebody, a naturopath, well, you do baby steps. Well, her baby steps were spending a lot of money and
Right.
buying all these supplements, but that rings in my head. Just do a baby step. If you're doing one thing in the right direction, that's one thing more than you were doing.
I'm going to give you a baby step, Susan. When
Okay.
people have gone down all those rabbit holes, and especially with nutritionists and everything,
Uh-huh.
less is more.
Yep.
Literally, stop doing whatever you're frustrated with and start listening to your intuition, start tapping into it, start listening where the fears are, start following what you're being guided to. You do not need to do anything, especially when you feel like overwhelmed with what I should do that's going to bring me to the grave. Less is more. Praise your body. Look at cubic inch wise all the systems in your body that are working perfectly. There's a lot of them that you don't even have to think, they're doing.
Right.
If you get the urge to get a vitamin D, get a vitamin D. You don't need a test to prove if you're like, yeah, I read about vitamin D. This makes sense. It's a basic mineral. It, from what I understand, it acts as a hormone. It's a transition. It helps you carry vitamins and different things.
But it's supposed to keep you calm.
Okay, well, keeping you calm would be get you unconstellated. So if you're
Right.
looking at vitamin D to keep you calm, wrong answer. Try again.
I think I need to come live with you for about a month.
Well, we could, yeah. You won't get away with anything.
Well, I like that idea of because that's what I really need is to to get you in the groove of it. And I guess that's why they have 4-day seminars. They keep you
Yep,
going in the right direction.
yep. And it's not making you reliant on anything. When we came here, however, whatever theory that is actually going to make sense at the end of the day, we were given air, sun, moon, water, earth, seeds. We have everything we need. Now, if we can just live in a community that's safe are healthy people. If people fall off a roof, yes, we need some help, but not as much as they think. Bye, Michelle. Have fun swimming.
Bye, Michelle.
Bye, everybody. Have
Bye.
a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Michelle.
Lots of love.
You too.
Yes. So yeah, less is more. Learn to tap into what you need. If you want to learn pendulum swinging, I got a big ass pendulum right here.
I never learned that. I don't know. I
It's
can't
simple.
multitask.
No, it's simple. You learn this simple thing and don't let anybody muscle test for you, because they're taking into account what's in their field. It takes a highly conscious person to muscle test for somebody.
So what do I need? Just a crystal?
This came with the
got
house. It can be anything. Go into a crystal rock shop and go get a pendulum.
No, I've got a necklace that has a crystal, pointed crystal at the bottom.
You can use a paper, you can use a paper clip. You can use the Susan's technique.
You can use your fingers, you know, and test it that you don't break the circle. Just when you pull it, show me yes. Oh, a yes means that I can't break the circle. Show me no. You know, I can. There's all kinds of ways. Look it up.
Yeah, there's a lot of free YouTube videos on different types of muscle testing. You don't have to hire anybody. Just start, because you can literally say, what do I need today? Quiet the brain and
Does
say,
this work?
anything works. So
Think
I'm
it
gonna
is-
say yes. You don't need my opinion. That looks lovely.
Okay.
Susan, you're muted. Other Benway in the back.
You know, you stand still. And
Right.
again, you always got to test first. And you ask the body, show me yes. And if you lean slightly forward, you got to give it a minute. Then that's yes.
Yeah,
you
I've done that
like
one
you got-
before.
Catch yourself
This is
before you hit
you.
the floor.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's proof that the answers are in you. Your body is something inside you that's all knowing.
Yes.
Because it's not just your muscles, it's the consciousness that's behind them.
That's right. So start where you are and be good to yourself. Okay? Any goals of the week that anybody wants to share? My goal, I'm going to share one other one. I am working on, with the GNM practitioners, creating a breast cancer understanding what it is, so we can educate prior to a diagnosis, and then there'll be helpful tools of all the practitioners' best of videos, books, articles, blogs, and it will be in an ebook form, and it will be very reasonably priced, if not free. So that's one of my goals, and I'm also putting together a healing journal so that anybody that is learning GNM will have also resources and just ways to daily journal and different things that I'm learning along the way. Some will be self tools, and then other tools that you can do with a friend. Does everybody have somebody in their circle that like is close to them that is learning GNM with them, or could be open? Because that will make your journey a lot easier. It's kind of, I feel like I want to, can I say a joke about Jehovah's? It's like, we got to go door knocking. No, but doing something with a friend is
I don't have anybody.
okay. So finding a buddy that you can be that person or have that, like, we're learning this together, somebody that's kind of open. So kind of ponder, because everybody's got to have somebody that's kind of open.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I-
when
I
you do it
bug-
with
I
somebody,
bug
it's so much
Kathy all the
easier.
time.
Say that, Susan, again?
I bug Kathy all the time, but we talk about all kinds of stuff, so.
Oh, Kathy Homeyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, ponder that. See if you're just kind of, and as God says, asking you shall receive. God, help me find somebody that can really support and join this journey.
Well, Kathy and I talked about something and I brought up you, and I'd like to talk to you about it later too. So I had an idea on that.
I have an idea of bring the 5 biological laws to your doctor day.
I don't have a doctor.
Great, to your closest doctor's office. Because if they don't know, it's not their fault.
Well, I do it. I do talk about it to my chiropractor, but I talk about so much that he's always like, I overwhelm him all the time, but he's open to stuff, but I just haven't I need to figure out how to get him into this.
Well, leave him copy of the 5 biological laws and say, hey, review that. We'll talk next time. Don't try to explain it. Kind of
What
like
copy of what?
the 5 biological laws on learning GNM.
Okay.
You read them and then you can copy a portion of it or, yeah, read the 5 biological laws.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go, everybody. So
Yes.
bye-bye.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Have a lovely day. Barb says goodbye. She's making some oatmeal. I'm going to wait
Yep.
here for a minute because Claudia, she's in California. She wanted to come on and she has a beautiful poem that she wrote. In fact, let me read it because I don't know when she sent me the, okay, we'll go off on this. So it says, good morning, sunshine. This is to me. Thank you for your okay. Wait, where's her? Oh, that's not the poem. This is it. Okay. Living as if. I always see my plants and they teach me something. Occasionally I forget to water them on time. They start going sideways. I water them consistently. They do well and grow more leaves. I don't stare at them and wonder if they'll be okay. I know they will. So I choose to not stare at my body and wonder if it will be okay. I choose to simply know this truth. If I let it heal, it will. If I trust it in my body, it will thrive. In my mind, I live as if I'm completely healthy. I live in the answered prayer. I walk healthy, I talk healthy, I speak healthy. The rest will follow accordingly. It starts in the mind, the body listens. It always has. She says, with that said, that's what I'm doing daily. And she was one that had tremendous fear. Her famous text would be, Deanna, I have this symptom. Should I panic? Should I go to the ER? So we're going to turn that into something, but let it be. I'll put it in the Facebook group so you can really read and just kind of find your own story in that and find your own strength in that. Because we're all, I know most of all your stories, parts of them, we're all in the same place. We try to complicate it when it's so simple. Trust, get busy doing, get busy making cards and bread and sending them and loving them. And all of a sudden, we got ourselves a job. And all of a sudden, oh, this just happened. It will naturally happen. So we're going to have an Up Your Vibe bus that says, hey, jump in here. We're going to the Adirondacks. Because it's fun. Life can be fun, but support is a huge piece. I'm not performing miracles, but I'm just supporting a woman here that just needed a little help rewiring things and understanding that her body's incredible, even when it's in pain, especially when it's in pain. So Susan, wand. Actually, I do want to share this because both of you have wands. Jessica's not sure if hers is working. I think you should go on a field trip to that company and say, can you test this to see if it's working? Because I'm sure either it is not, and it really should be, or your belief is, I don't know, but it should.
I think I've come to the realization that my trajectory in life is to truly have no reliance on anything outside of me. And so for me personally, on my journey, I don't think that any of these things are supposed to be working for me because I have been asked and given the opportunity to truly find the strength within myself only. And yeah, I love hearing the stories about it, but yeah, for me, it's just
I
okay.
think that is a an incredible awareness, and it really proves the point that a tool for somebody, if it doesn't work for us, it doesn't mean it's whatever, but your journey is what keeps landing in front of you and what it keeps sharing and what keeps allowing you to unfold within yourself. This was an entertaining tool for me. And now what I can do, like we had 5, she can't help but up her vibe. An hour and a half in a Papasan chair or in a recliner with lights in the eyes and this and that and wands. Michelle called it scissor hands, the wanding
Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands. So 5 wands on her, lights, and rewiring her fears, allowing, is it time to let go? And all these different things that we can do that entertain us,
Mhm.
but really learn to trust. You have, just like Dorothy had the shoes on the whole time. She didn't need that whole, all those characters in her life. So it's simple. But yeah, Susan, if you wand your chest and change your thoughts, like I'm safe, and feel and feel and feel the safety. Or have somebody do it for you while you're there. Or a Reiki provider, have her do that too. There's so many layers of what I'm learning in the last nine days. We can have a lot more fun on our journey. I like your rooftop there, Jess.
Mm.
What is that? Is that just a,
It's a Tesla, so it just has a glass roof.
so that's glass
Yeah.
with a sky print.
Yep, with the clouds.
Can you open it up? Let me see.
No, can't open it.
It's the real sky. It's not a sky
Yeah.
print, it's the real sky.
Yeah, it's the real sky.
Oh, wow. Cool. I
Yeah, it's
want
just like
a Tesla, and I want it now.
it's just like a sunroof, a big giant sunroof that doesn't open.
Okay,
Cool.
that is cool. All
I'm gonna
right,
sign out. I have to go.
very
Uh,
good.
Thank you so much, Deanna, as
Welcome.
usual, and Jessica and everybody, and
Have a lovely day.
Barb. You too.
Yes.
Wonderful
All right.
day, everyone.
Peace, everybody.
Bye.
Peace. All right, Jess. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. Is it just you and me left? Oh, everybody left.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get a shower or an exercise or something. But it's nice here, so we'll see. We'll see what we need.
Great. Enjoy it. Have a
Alright.
fantastic day.
Nice
Winning.
seeing you. We are
You
winning.
Yes.
All right.
Bye.